I'm so sorry. Um, but I will say this is all necessary. Okay, let's get to week 2. You have to remember the full moon reading because that goes over August. And the full moon reading was focus on you. Okay, so let's see. Week 2. This is just knowledge of what's coming. Preparation. But I do think these countries are about to intervene. Okay. Week 2. So week 2 brings us to August 9th through the 15th. That feels resonant. It feels like something's interesting going to happen there. What is happening for week 2 of August? The scar. It will not disappear. It will become a map, a reminder of of what split you open and that you closed. Okay, I like that actually. And the parasite, which will be them, and the poison. Okay. So, the scar is the one that hit the table. Ooh, Max food. Oh my God, yes. Hey, Juanita. Okay. So the scar is what hit the table. So that is oh, your B-Day on the 18th. Awesome sauce. They hold over 1 trillion. God dog. So they were definitely in a position of bargaining for sure, because it wasn't actually bargaining. That's really good. Okay. So the scar. Listen to this again. It says it will not disappear. It will become a map, a reminder of what split you open and that you closed. Y'all hear that? So it splits you open. It doesn't kill you, but it reminds you of what you don't ever want to do again. Okay? And what is that thing that splits you open? The poison and the parasite. The poison is the toxicity you ignore is a dose you're choosing to swallow daily. Okay? So again, this is a really good time to get prepared. Because depleted just followed right behind it. It says you poured from an empty vessel. Now even the echo of generosity is gone. So you can't even pretend to be generous right there. And the parasite, they didn't take your light. They convinced you it was your duty to hold the lamp for them forever. Oh, look at that. They didn't take your light. They convinced you to hold the lamp for them. Yeah, that sounds like people who hold water for the for the corrupt class. And they're like, no, they're so amazing. Okay, kid. All right. So, am I using these? Oh, okay. Change of cards. Thank you. Week 2 is the scar. So what are we looking at for? Ooh, 7 of Swords. There's the sneakiness. I was wondering when it was going to show up. But remember, it's not just sneaky, it's strategic. 4 of Wands. Okay, 4 of Wands is a celebration. What the heck? The Queen of Wands. What? 5 of Pentacles. Okay. And Page of Pentacles. All right. What is all of these things? Anything else? 10 of Wands. All right. Week 2. Okay. So I think this is going to be the tipping point week because I have Temperance in reverse. And then I have the 9 of Swords, though, in reverse. So I think this is tipping point week. Remember, there's a duality to that 7 of Swords that we had before. We had the stealing on one hand, but we also have the strategy underneath. with the other group of people. So I think it's the same thing here. We have temperance out of balance here. So that's them trying to, put it on them. But then we have the Nine of Swords in reverse, meaning they cannot take it from us. They want to jump on us, right? They just want to spring and ambush us, but we're not going to be ambushed. We are not going to be ambushed. You don't get to do that, sir. Okay. And then the Seven of Pentacles. Again, something they've waited for a long time is not about to happen. So all this they're doing for, whatever they're doing this for, this thing is going to collapse. Just understand, week 2 is that week. Week 2 is the scar. How do you drown in donuts? Week 2 is the star. Ooh, food trucks. All right, so we have Seven of Swords. All right, so Seven of Swords is, like I said, it's the stealing on one hand, and it is the strategy on the other. Now, in this particular deck, it's pretty interesting because look at this. You have her watching with a blade in her hand, and then several other blades sticking in the ground. But the ground is magical, it's lit. So it feels like there's protection here. That's the first word that I got when I was looking at this a few seconds ago, is that there's still protection here. The strategy of protection. So there's this one of trying to rob you, but there's still 6 more, the strategy of protection. And if you remember, a 6 of Swords is about transition anyway. So I think this is going to be it. I think this is going to be the corrupt week. Like, this is the tipping point week. Because there's a 4 of Wands here, which is supposed to be a celebration. Interesting, though. They made this a spiritual absolute. You see 2 wands on each side. So whatever transpires in this middle is going to be for our greatest good at the end. No matter if it's going to be negative happening in that house, it is going to come back to us as a positive. It will be transmuted because this is spiritual absolute. So, considering it's following that 7 of Swords card, I'm going to go there. Now, the Queen of Wands in reverse, yeah, this feels like transition week. The Queen of Wands in reverse, this feels like Ira. So I think we're going to try to do something stupid. And I think that's part of what's going to mark it as transition week. We're going to do something stupid, and it's going to cost lives. We're going to do something stupid, and it's going to cost lives. This is 5 of Pentacles. It's going to cost us money, but it's going to cost us lives, and it's going to cost us standing. Oh, this feels like when somebody really crosses the line into crimes against humanity. Okay. So the last 2 cards are Page of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. The crazy thing about this is mostly a Wand and Pentacle reading with the stealing as the only sword. Now this Page of Pentacles, this card compared to all the other cards is light. Like, look at this. I'm going to show you these other cards. So we have this darkness, right? It's pretty dark here. And then we have kind of some pretty darkness here. There's a little bit of light here, but it's pretty dark. This is the lightest card here. I think this really is transition point. This is the Page of Pentacles. This is about learning something new, starting to do something new, because then it's followed by a 10 of Wands. This is the work. I'm getting chills really big. This is transition week. This is transition week. This is where it changes. This is where it changes. Okay. Because there's a question here of how do we get out of this? How do we get out of the thing that they're going to cause or start? And the Page of Pentacles feels like, I know. How about we kill him already? Allegedly for entertainment purposes only. How about we do something different? I have an idea. That's what this feels like. I mean, the dude's already sick, right? That definitely feels like that. So the second week of August, to put it into something, it is transition week. That's like the phrase that I have for this. Yep, you did too, right? It is transition week. Whatever does happen though, with regards to this White House that they think they're celebrating, because remember, whatever they're celebrating, we're not, right? Because that's just something. Whatever that is going to be used for our greater good because it will be spiritually transmuted. That I do know. Then with the Queen of Wands, this feels like something stupid. The Queen of Wands and the Five of Pentacles feels like something really stupid overseas. And it's going to cost lives. It's going to cost the rest of our reputation. I think that's when we get put on the list. And then we have Page of Pentacles and Ten of Wands. That's the work. That's the work. I got a different idea. There's something new. Let's put this together. So on one hand, it feels like them. It feels like some kind of light in the dark. And then, okay, let's get the messaging out. Like that type of thing. I do feel like they're going to transition over. Wait, okay, hold on. Am I still here? Yeah. This is the Two of Pentacles. Look how much light. They're really, really, really weighing this idea. They're really weighing this idea, and I think it's winning. I think the idea is winning. There's a star, so this is especially at, y'all, I think this came out exactly the same way last night. Look at this. The star and the Three of Hearts, Three of Swords. That's Izzy trying to get loyalty out of our new leader that they're propping up. And they're aware because there's the Queen of Swords again. She's reaching for her sword in the dawn. Dawn comes after night. And we've been in the night. We've been in the dark for a while. Not as long as you could be, because you know these things could be 20 years or more. But since we're in this age of reckoning, everything is happening so much faster. So the Queen of Swords is reaching for her sword after this week, after transition week. And I think it's because they want that boo-boo. They want the Yahoo. They want the Yahoo. Ha! There you go. Strength card. That's a yes. And you see she's aiming. They're done. The world is done with this guy. I don't understand the UK and all. That's why UK is out, because they're full of shit. They're over here arresting people if they talk against the Izzy. Okay. Hey, Ladybug. All right. So, wait. Oh, man. Damn. Okay. Yep. Okay. There's a Four of Swords. Escaping justice. And being stuck and stagnant. So they are going to, I think they're going to change I think they're going to transition him. Because there's the Six of Pentacles, and then there's the Six of Cups. Okay, yeah, I think they're going to transition him. Because then I'm looking at a card that says the Emperor and then the Nine of Wands in reverse. I think they're going to transition him. I could be wrong, but right now it feels really strong that that's going to happen. And even though I said that last night, I was watching some of the other readings today, and they're getting the same thing. I don't know if it's astrology. I don't know astrology. I know intuition, and that's what I'm getting. There's definitely something about the manifestation and the Chariot here. There's a movement that's going to happen, and you see it's a sunrise that's starting to happen, and then the sun peeking through the dark forest again. We're about to get light. It's just got to get a little darker, just a little bit. Remember, we knew this was happening. We knew this was coming. All right, so we're going to week 3. Week 3 is the 16th through the 22nd. Week 3 is the 16th through the 22nd. Okay, now remember, this is the scar for week 2. This is what we are going to remember for here on out, whatever this thing is that they're doing. Week 3, 16th through the 22nd. Ooh, no, that was me. Week 3, 16 through the 22nd. Why did I keep... Okay. See? Yep. Betrayal, ghosted, and ashes. And quicksand. Okay. Yeah, so betrayal. The knife wasn't in your back. It was in the hand you were holding. Okay. Ghosted, they didn't leave a corpse. They left a shape only you can see, and you keep setting a place for it at the table. And ashes, this is not ruin. This is cleared ground. Nothing false can grow here now. I love that. I really love that card. Like, you see it? Look at that. There's still so much promise and life and light there. So this is ghosted. And then this is betrayal. Yeah, I left off the L. So you got somebody going into your safe. So that makes sense, doesn't it? Somebody going into your safe. Putting them in those positions really is betrayal. Okay, and then quicksand I saw. So quicksand is they keep you comfortable in the trap. Every cushion is another inch down. All right, the ashes, we all fall down. Okay, week 3.